what's going on from the camera. You know, it takes a year for me to make a YouTube video, but you know, it's actually a lot of hard work to actually be on YouTube. And I, you know, over a year ago when I decided I was going to start a YouTube channel, I thought, oh yeah, it's going to be great. Had a good friend, Ted Forbes, said you got to do a lot of content. My friend Ted, and he's the reason I'm coming back right now to do another YouTube video, because I decided, you know, if I don't have anything to say, I'm not just going to vlog, because I wouldn't be. You know, there's so many really good vloggers, but this is really cool because I'm really good friends. I believe I'm friends with Ted. I mean, he is a great guy and a great photographer, and he runs the Art of Photography on YouTube is his channel, and he's wicked popular, you know, and I am honored to be his friend. But anyway, he put out a video this week about, you know, how color affects intent of photography, and it really struck a chord with me, and I had a bit of an epiphany. So I thought it was time to come back to YouTube and actually say something about photography that I thought would be really important to share with everyone. And maybe you can go out and take a great photo, you know, or you take great photos and, you know, improve your photography, you know, because that's what we're here to do on a platform like YouTube, is prop up one another, you know, in what we do. So, you know, several months ago, back in January, I had taken this photo of an eclipse that was going on, and it was really successful. This was a successful photo. I was happy with it, and it was widely successful in social media. People wanted to buy prints of it, and it really made me think, you know, out of all the photographs I had taken before leading up to this one was kind of set aside as kind of a pinnacle of my photography, you know, even when I looked at it for myself. So, you know, I'm looking at it and I'm like, what is going on? And the one thing that I realized is that I had a lot of intent in it. And the Ted's video on his YouTube channel made me realize that, and I was able to combine it with another concept on Casey Neistat's YouTube channel. You all know Casey. How can you not, right? Casey's practically YouTube. But anyway, it led to a thing that, you know, was in my head, kind of like that time when I got in manual mode, like on my shirt here, and I was learning that metaphorical exposure triangle, right? You have to grapple with your camera and be able to control your shutter speed, your ISO for the sensor if it's a digital camera, and the aperture. You know, you have to get all these things together in kind of a triangle, right? It's kind of like a metaphorical triangle. They're like kind of like dials. You get them set, and then you get your photo. And as you start to learn the camera, the other things about photography start to come in, like composition, right? So you're kind of grappling with composition and the technical aspects of that metaphorical exposure triangle to get your photo. And then as you progress, you start to learn things about another concept in photography, which is light, right? And so you're going from this point where you're just taking a picture of a family member to where you're using light, you know, or you're composing the family member. Let's say you put them in a pose, right? So now you're composing, you know, you're putting them in a situation, and you take the photo, or you start to see things, you start to align the photo that way, you know, and, you know, to get it how you want it compositionally, and you take it, and then this other element comes in, which is light. So you start to look for light in various ways: sunrises and sunsets, cloudy versus sunny, and how that light impacts the photo, flash photography, strobes, mono lights. In the studio, light becomes another component. So you had all those technical things you learned, and then you come into composition and light. And then Ted's video and what he's doing now on his YouTube channel is really good, because it made me realize there's a third element. There is another triangle artistically that we're dealing with in regards to photography. So when you have your composition, and here's a picture of it. I'll draw you a picture of it, all right? First of all, let's go back to Casey Neistat. You're telling a story with the camera, and it's a big circle. There's a story there. You're trying to tell a story, and you're going to press the button, and you're going to have that story frozen in time, right? Well, inside that story is this triangle, metaphorically and somewhat artistically like the exposure triangle, but at a level above it, where you put your composition knowledge with your light knowledge and then your palette knowledge. So this triangle sits inside, you as the photographer sits inside the story with that triangle as your tool set to arrive at your intent for the photo. So, you know, intent is everything in photography. When you start having intent, like, you know, I realized it as kind of a apex in my photography with that eclipse. I intended everything you see in this eclipse photo, right? Everything you see, the position, how I laid out the moon through the phases of the eclipse, the moment the sun was up, and the gradient filter that I used on it, how I manipulated the color a little bit to give you purple and blue. You know, I knew the landscape was that way. That was all in my head when I gave it to you, and the colors, the color palette worked with the light, you know, and the composition to tell the story of that eclipse. And I just wanted to pass it along to you. You know, I hope that means something to you like it does to me. You know, when you think about story from Casey Neistat vlogging or doing any type of film work as it would apply to a still photo, and you take your technical aspects of the camera and you combine it with what Ted is describing. You know, you know, Ted's already been over composition and light, you know, and here we are at palette. We're talking about color, right? Or, you know, black and white's not color, it's just composition and light, right? But you're still telling a story. But those are the three things combined together. I just want to share that with you, and I hope you get some real insight out of it. And maybe I'll be back before the year is up to do another YouTube video. So you guys stay cool, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.